have the investigative agencies been weaponized too much, where people, don't know at any point in time what can happen?
Iced.
Yeah, iced. I'd say that both economically and politically, if there's one thing I'd say which should be concerning for the Modi government, it should be the weaponization of the investigative agencies. I've always said this, if you look at the history of development, the single best indicator, if you were to look at it in terms of capital flows, is when what are the domestic businessmen doing? Very rarely have countries been successful if the domestic businessmen are bearish and the foreign people are putting money in. Usually it works the other way around, which is I would rather invest in a country where the domestic people are more optimistic than the foreign guys are. Often the foreign capital is the last one to come and catch the tail end of the boom.
And the first to leave also.
And the first to leave, no, opposite. The first to leave happens to be domestic guys. In fact, the best predictor of crises I figured out is when the domestic businessmen start taking their money out. That was my first experience in East Asia in '97, that before foreign capital could leave, domestic business people started taking their money out on the quiet, right? There are balance of payments numbers, we know where you look at it and you see that. So I think that, and I've made this point earlier, that it's the domestic businesses that I want to see remain more in India today. It's a great story which is going on, but if I were to look at one of the fault lines, it is that why are so many people,
moving to Dubai and Singapore.
Moving to Dubai, Singapore, you go there, etc., they're floating around. And I think that a lot of it is because, and I've said this openly, that if, that of all the good that's happening, one of the things which I think the government needs to be careful about is that, how confident are you feeling about the domestic environment, domestic businesses? Have the investigative agencies been weaponized too much, where people, don't know at any point in time what can happen?
Iced.
Sorry?
Hearing this term iced.
Yeah, iced, exactly. In terms of that, as an acronym for the 4 investigative agencies. Yes. So I think that fear is there, undoubtedly. And I'd say that both economically and politically, if there's one thing I'd say which should be concerning for the Modi government, it should be the weaponization of the investigative agencies.